Hi, we're here at SHOT Show 2018 with Tyler Frainer, who's the Director of Match Operations of the NRL, as well as Travis Ishida, who is the President of the NRL. So we really appreciate you spending some time with us here at the SHOT Show.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. We're very honored to be here. We were here with you guys last year. I thought, well, you guys do terrific work, both with your interviews and your content. And I'm a big fan of you guys. I appreciate you guys shooting my match a couple years ago, and I certainly appreciate you inviting us back today.
Absolutely. I mean, since we talked a year ago, a lot has happened, and we actually came out there this weekend to look at the match outside of Las Vegas here. I mean, it's just been incredible. So just talk a bit about that.
Okay, yeah, we're really happy with the way that 2017 went down. I mean, I think that it was an extremely successful year for the National Rifle League and for precision rifle sports in general, and we're just honored to be a part of it. The NRL has really grown and it has its own legs, and it's moved in its own direction. We put on precision rifle matches, but we just do it a little bit different. We're all about the community. We know that there's the best shooters in the country, and that's great, but there's also another 99 people at the match. And we all want to have fun. We all want to have a good time. And I think that some of the things that we do that sets us apart is we've grown a community, and we're together as shooters and ROs on the range, and then off the range we're together as well. We just did the National Rifle League Championship this last weekend. Prime Ammunition sponsored a bowling event on Friday, and we all got together and had the best dressed bowler, which was my lovely wife Janae. And then we also had top bowler, and then they bought us like $250 in pizza and beer. Wow. We got together the next night, everybody went out to dinner together, and then we had a massive awards banquet where everybody ate and drank, and we were merry. And that's really what we're trying to do, and the community involvement and the sense of organization has been great. As you guys may or may not know, I'm sure you do, that when you put on a match, one of the hardest things to do is to get not only quality range officers, but enough range officers. I mean, everybody wants to shoot. Well, we did our 2017 season, and after all the points had shook out, we knew who was qualifying, and immediately I started getting messages online and phone calls and like, Ty, I just want to be involved. I want to show up to the championship. I want to come help you RO. And it was just, I did not ask one time for help ROing. A lot of my clubs, Sin City Precision, they qualified, so they shot, and I thought I was going to be shorthanded. A month and a half ago, I started counting up my ROs. I had 45 ROs. Wow. And I had to put a public announcement out there, please, I would love to have you all, but I can't take on any ROs. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of putting on a precision rifle match. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I think it's the community and organization that has happened there.
Well, and I think it speaks volumes about the folks that participate in this sport. Because when you were coming on the scene, a little over a year ago, you had some goals about community and involvement. And, some folks might have said, hey, that sounds really good, but are they really going to be able to achieve momentum? And you have. And again, I think this is not only an accomplishment of the NRL, I think it's just an accomplishment of the shooter community, that folks can band together for something that I would describe it as a very altruistic organization, a very altruistic endeavor.
Yeah, I know that's one of the things that struck me when you guys launched and kind of put out the mission statement, if you will, around the community and growing the sport through training, youth involvement, and also putting the power back in the hands of the match directors. So those are all kind of key differentiators. Tell us a little bit about that, or if you could expand on that.
That's your area of expertise, boss.
Yeah. So, we believe that the leaders in this community are the match directors. Everybody loves a strong shooter. Shooters are excellent, and we have a ton of really good shooters, but the people that lead the way are the match directors. So we organized this organization so that the match directors were the people that were in control of the organization. In addition to being a match director, you also serve as board of directors. So I basically write the skeleton framework of the rules, and then as a group we have discussion on what do we want to do. You know, is it, I wrote this rule, do you want to change it? And we talk as a community, and we change it, and we change the rules so that we know that just because I'm in the middle of an island in the desert in Las Vegas, and I don't really understand what it's like to put on a match in North Carolina, but the gentleman running the matches in North Carolina is right there giving input. Like, listen, you don't understand. If you do that, this is the effect.
Right.
Our match director in Mississippi, he pointed out something, you know, very important around the 308 and the involvement in 308 in Mississippi, because you can't hunt there with anything other than a 308. Okay. So things like this, I don't know anything about that. So to have the different match directors in different places and being in control of the organization, I think is what's a part of what's made us successful.
And a part of that too is, you know, a lot of people assume that the rules and the regulations and so on and so forth are written by Ty and this secret group, and it's not. It's all very public, and we wanted the match directors to have that vote because we want them to truly be the voice of the people. So, you know, we'll get comments, you know, oh, well, why did this rule change, or why are you doing it this way, or why don't you score this way? And it's not because, you know, Ty has some sadistic thing going on in his head. It's because that's what the majority, that's what the masses wanted. And so we're simply providing a organized platform for what the majority are asking for.
Okay.
Well, I think even if he had some crazy idea, the match director is you know, would serve as a firewall to that. I mean, I think that's terrific.
One more thing, if you don't mind, on that front.
No, you go right ahead.
You know, the last thing that I really think kind of sets us apart is this guy here. You know, with his media and marketing skills. Hey, we love our sponsors. Our sponsors are outstanding. But there's a lot of matches going out there, and the sponsors, they give and they give and they give, and what we need to give them back is return on investment. And we need to make our shooters aware of the products that these people are bending over backwards to get in our hands. And I think that Travis and Contingency X, you know, filming every match and promoting the sponsors, constantly blowing the sponsors up has really been good. And I think that, you know, I mean, we're seeing all of our sponsors are like, we're on again. Let's do this again.
We haven't had one sponsor drop. You know, how do we get more involved? How do we do this again? What else do you need from us? And it's funny because, you know, we are keeping our fingers crossed for this year that people would stay on. Mm-hmm. You know, because we actually went last year from 8 matches to 16 matches this year, so we doubled. And so we're like, this might be too much. And then, you know, there's other opportunities for shooters out there, and there's a whole other series out there that's doing a lot of matches as well. So we weren't sure what we were going to get response-wise from sponsors, but literally there's people stopping us in the hallway here at SHOT Show saying, come by our booth. You need to come talk to us.
Yeah.
And I think honestly that kind of took both of us by surprise, because we're like, we have some meetings, it's got to be kind of a chill day, and it's literally back to back to back to back. So we're truly blessed there. And, you know, recognizing the sponsors, you know, this is a sport and it's a hobby. It's a couple of different things to different people, but for our sponsors, it's business.
Yeah.
So our goal is to give back to them more than they give to us, because we don't want to be the match or the series or the league that says, give me, give me, give me. We want to be the ones that are here. What else can we do? What do you need from us? What can we make? What do we need to do to make this happen? And I think that approach from, you know, the marketing and media standpoint to tie picking and working with awesome match directors and matches throughout the country has really put together a phenomenal formula to make the NRL what it is. Because without the sponsors, without the match directors, without the shooters, you know, we're just two guys drinking beers, having fun, trying to come up with crazy ideas.
And now you get to do both.
With great people.
Now, the sport has grown, you know, tremendous inroads in terms of just the number of matches. You know, we're seeing a lot more matches, you know, expand out into the Southeast and the Midwest. There's a new thing called NRL 22. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Ty, that's your baby.
I would love to. You know, the the NRL is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. We are in fact a charity, and our mission goal is to grow precision rifle shooting. That's our goal, and our focus is with the youth, and getting more women shooters on the range. And so, we did the best we could to try to draw youth shooters in, but they're a little bit intimidated by the big centerfire matches. And we were thinking about ways to do it, and actually one of my co-match directors this last year, Jeff Oder, was like, man, we should do this but do it with 22s. I'm like, bingo. And so we got our heads together and we started thinking about it, and we came up with the NRL 22. And what's cool about it is we designed it to be as inclusive as possible. So we limited a couple things. First off, our courses of fire, we give out 5 courses of fire per month, and the maximum range that we do is 100 yards. Because just about every municipality has access to a 100-yard range, and it's really taken off great in like New England, where they're like, we want to do precision rifle shooting, but we just don't have 1,000-yard ranges, So we give out every single month 5 courses of fire. 2 of them are going to be prone. 1 of them is going to be positional, meaning standing unsupported, kneeling, sitting, or prone unsupported. 1 barricade, and then 1 other that can be anything that I choose. And the course of fire uses a standard target package. For $250 on our website, you can buy the standard target package that JC Steele has co-branded with us and does a really good job. And it gives you, I should know this off the top of my head, it gives you 12 targets, and they're down from 1/4 of an inch wide up to 6 inches wide. And it's a tremendous value for the target package, but that's all you need. And you don't need to buy our target package, you just need these target sizes. So then in addition to that, we have a standard barricade list, and it's all basically hardware store stuff. I can't do complex roof props and tank traps and stuff like that because not everybody has that. So the standard barricade list is all there, and if you needed to go buy it all, it's inside of $100. So every month, all of our matches, and anybody in the country can run a match so long as they have 100 yards. They have the standard course of fire that we put out every single month. They have the target package, and they have the barricade list, and then it's all right there for download on NRL22.org. So the entire country competes against each other and within their own club. And it's funny how we just thought it was going to be a club-to-club thing, but everybody really wants to see their scores and how their club stacked up against everybody else. So it's been pretty fun that way.
And I mean, it's crazy because they submit their scores digitally. So it's like as soon as they submit them, sometimes we'll get calls in like 5-10 minutes afterwards. Our scores posted. Our scores posted. Like, guys,
I love the competition.
We're like 5 people running this whole thing, behind the scenes. Give us a minute. And even here, we posted that we're going to be at the championship, the NRL championship and SHOT Show, and to please be patient because this is a lot of work just being at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
And people are submitting, and they're like, I submitted my scores 2 days ago. How come they're not up? I'm like, I don't have anybody in the office right now, guys. We're here.
Now, when you all arrived in the room here, you were really excited about the 2018 season that's coming up here. So let's talk about that.
So 2018 is it's our second year, obviously, and when Ty and I first sat down and we were talking about, how many matches do we want to allow in and what do we want to be, what's our ideal 2018 season? And I was like, Ty, this is phenomenal. We know that we're going to grow. And I was like, 12 matches. Ty's like 15. I'm like 12. He's like 15. I'm like, okay, we'll go in between. We'll see where it kind of lays, right? And we had probably close to 18 or 20 submissions of clubs that met our deadline that wanted to become involved, and it was astounding, to say the least. And the clubs that didn't make it into the 2018 season, because we have 16 matches, we went over our Ty was like, no, we're going to do these. I'm like, okay, you win, right? So we have 15 regular matches in our championship. But the clubs that didn't make it in, the only reason they didn't make it in was because we're trying to spread our matches out into more states instead of stacking multiple matches in the same states. because there's a ton of great clubs within just the Southwest region, and they all wanted to have matches. And it's like, well, it's too many in one spot. We have to extend ourselves. And with, Connex Media going and filming every match, having more than 16 is,
It's
really,
a challenge. Yeah.
It's hard. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys are in video production. You guys are huge. And
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So Ty said, we're going to do 16. And I said, I'm not going to fight you.
Now, one thing that's different about NRLs, and this is, let's talk a little about point scoring. How do I rank, right? And the formula has been tweaked in organizations like PRS and so on. For the folks that may not be familiar, tell us about how your system works. Is it going to change? What sort of thought has gone into it?
Okay, so the scoring system that everybody appreciates the most is the winner's score. So you get your score. Let's just say I shoot 100. The winner's score is 150. You divide my score to match of 100 by the winner's score, which is going to give me a percentage of the winner's score. I think everybody understands that. So that's the scoring system that most people like. And so all the match directors said that's the format that we want to go with. And then, so what we're doing is we have something that's called the average. And this year, the match directors want to do 3 matches. So it takes 3 matches to fill up your average. So your top 3 scores, so like let's just say I shoot an 85 and a 95 and a 90, my average is going to be 90 points. Okay? So I'll go into the championship match in Idaho with 90 points, and then I'll be shooting against everybody there, and the championship match is equal to the entire season. So all you do is add your 90 points with the points that you get in the championship match, which, hey, I'm going to shoot this year, so hopefully it's 100. So 90 plus 100 is 190, and then probably that won't be enough, and Austin Orgain or Jake Vibbert will beat me by a lot longer than that. So it seems complicated, but once you get to the championship match, you realize that there's only 1 score plus 1 score figures out where your overall season rank is, and that way it made it much easier and much more streamlined. And honestly, the championship match is the deal, right? I mean, that's where all the best shooters are. So we think the weight of the championship match is equal to the rest of the entire season.
Yep.
Now, to pivot a little bit, let's talk about some of the specific matches. You said that there were 2 matches or locations associated with those matches that are quite notable.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually got access to Camp Atterbury in Indiana. Robert Quigley did an outstanding job with our Colorado match, and his brother Patrick was there, also a great guy.
And his father.
And his father, Bob, too. Yeah, they did a really good job with Colorado. Well, it just so happens that Patrick Quigley has access to Camp Atterbury, which nobody gets to go and shoot there. And the pictures that they send me are out of control. They have villages, they have army tanks, they have like a 2,000-yard mover, which I don't know if we'll use that or not. But and then apparently Travis just told me that the sergeant major there is putting $8 million into that range just for our match. So
I was told that they're redesigning that whole range to fit our style of shooting. And that if we want every single target on that range to be a mover, they will do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so Janae's, you don't see this. Janae's over there shaking her head. No, not every single one a mover. And of course, we're not going to do that. But just to have that amount of support is phenomenal. And we were told there's one other organization, and it's not a precision rifle match, but they use that facility for a match. We were told that we're the only group, we're the only outside organization that they will work with.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
It's phenomenal.
And so that's a great story in one of the locations. Was there a second?
Well, the second match is something that I have a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a nightmare to film, but it's going to be a ton of fun, and it's a complete night match.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 100% night match.
Yeah.
So you fly in or drive in, whatever it is, you zero, and then you get a break, I think dinner or whatever, and you literally go right into your match. So you're going to shoot Friday night, Saturday night, and the match is called Silent Night in Nebraska.
No,
it's
in Oklahoma by Justin Watts.
Justin Watts, I apologize. And then Sunday, I believe they're going to do the award ceremony after everybody's got a little bit of sleep and we're a little bit more coherent rather. But my first night match that I ever shot was with Sin City. They do an annual night match, and I had just so much fun that's why I'm really looking forward to this specific match. All the other matches, they're great. They all have very unique terrain, very unique setups. The match directors are getting very creative with pushing the envelope, but still keeping some traditional in there. So there's a great balance. But the fact that we get to shoot on a military base with full support is, that's just amazing. I would have never thought that would happen. And then to hold a national level night match is just a completely new twist that it's gonna add another element. Obviously, you're shooting in the dark, so it's gonna add another element to see who really has the skills.
And I would imagine, are you required to use a suppressor for that, for the muzzle flash? Or?
I believe they're going to require or provide suppressors for that for loners. I was told that Justin's working with a company to get all of that handled, but I don't know the exact details of it just yet.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put a quick disclaimer out there. We're talking a lot about this match in Indiana, and we're super excited about it. But there's only two things that could stop this match. Number one is, God forbid we go to war, because it's a military base, they shut it down. The second thing is if the government shuts down, which we're all experiencing right now, so hopefully we won't experience it again this year. But those would be the only two things that stop that match. Otherwise, their heads over there, the officers in command over there are just super excited about us coming.
Well, it certainly gives you a reason now to care whether or not the government is open.
Yes.
Well, it looks like there's a lot to look forward to in 2018, so best of luck. Travis, Ty, thank you for coming in and visiting with us.
Thank you.
Look forward to talking to you again.
Again, congratulations on just a terrific year.
Appreciate it.
Folks, we hope you found that interesting and exciting. Remember, folks, life's an adventure.
Stay on target.